Willow Creek was a town cloaked in shadow. It was a place where whispers danced on the wind. Legends spoke of restless spirits. The stories were more than folklore, they were warnings. The town was known for its eerie occurrences. Locals and visitors alike felt a chill down their spines. There was an unspoken truth in Willow Creek. Something wasn't right. The history of Willow Creek was long and dark. It was a tapestry woven with tragedy and sorrow. Some whispered of a curse that clung to the town. Others spoke of ancient secrets buried deep. Whatever the truth, one thing was clear. Willow Creek was not for the faint of heart. It was a place where the veil between the living and the dead was thin. The air in Willow Creek was heavy. It was like an unseen weight pressing down on your shoulders. It was as if the town itself was holding its breath, waiting, watching. Halloween in Willow Creek was different. The air grew colder, the shadows deeper. It was as if the veil between the living and the dead was at its thinnest. The townsfolk, hardened by years of eerie occurrences, embraced the season. They decorated their homes with a mixture of festivity and fear. Jack-o'-lanterns leered from porches, their carved grins echoing the unsettling energy of the town. Costumes took on a sinister edge. They reflected the very real presence of the supernatural that permeated Willow Creek. The annual Halloween festival was a spectacle. It was both a celebration and a challenge to the spirits that haunted the town. But beneath the festive facade there was an undercurrent of unease. Tourists flocked to Willow Creek. They came seeking a thrill, eager to catch a glimpse of the spectral residents. They were oblivious to the very real danger that lurked beneath the surface. The residents of Willow Creek knew better. They knew that the line between the world of the living and the dead was blurred in their town. Child trick-or-treater. Trick or treat. Sarah Mitchell was a journalist with a thirst for the unknown. Drawn by the chilling tales of Willow Creek, she arrived in town with a notebook full of questions and a camera ready to capture the truth. Sarah had a reputation for her investigative skills. She had a knack for uncovering secrets. She wasn't afraid of the dark, both figuratively and literally. Sarah Mitchell. I'm here to uncover the truth about Willow Creek. There's something about this place that draws me in. Something I need to understand. Sarah was determined to separate fact from fiction. She wanted to understand the darkness that clung to Willow Creek. She spent days researching the town's history. She pored over old newspaper articles, local legends, and any accounts of paranormal activity she could find. The more she learned, the more intrigued she became. She sought out the locals, listening intently to their stories. Some dismissed her as just another thrill seeker. Others, however, recognized the genuine curiosity in her eyes. They shared their personal encounters with the supernatural. They spoke of cold spots, disembodied whispers, and shadowy figures that vanished as quickly as they appeared. Her investigation led her to the Willow Creek Cemetery. It was an ancient and sprawling graveyard. Crooked headstones stood like teeth in the fading light. The air was thick with the scent of damp earth and something else. Something ancient and unsettling. Sarah Mitchell. All right, here goes nothing. Let's see what secrets you hold, Willow Creek Cemetery. As she walked among the graves, she felt an oppressive weight settle upon her. The silence was broken only by the rustling of leaves and the distant cawing of crows. It was as if the very air was thick with the stories of the departed. Each headstone held a tale of tragedy, of lives cut short or lived in the shadow of Willow Creek's darkness. The further she ventured into the cemetery, the colder it seemed to get. A thick fog began to roll in, obscuring the already fading light. She could sense eyes upon her. It was as if the spirits of the cemetery were watching her every move. Sarah Mitchell, I can feel it. There's definitely something here. I just need to find it. The most intriguing location was the abandoned Willow Creek Manor. It loomed over the town like a skeletal king on a crumbling throne. Locals whispered of the family that once resided within its walls, driven to madness by an evil presence. The manor stood at the edge of town, shrouded in an almost tangible sense of dread. Its once grand facade was now crumbling, consumed by ivy and neglect.
The moment I stepped onto the porch, I felt an oppressive weight settle upon me. The air grew heavy, as if laden with unseen sorrow. I could hear the faintest of whispers carried on the wind. They seemed to beckon me closer, to unravel the secrets held within the manor's walls.
As Sarah explored the decaying rooms, she noticed strange occurrences. Cold spots clung to certain areas. Floorboards creaked underfoot, even when she was certain she was alone. She could feel the weight of unseen eyes upon her, watching her every move with a mixture of curiosity and malice. In a hidden room, Sarah found a dusty journal. Its pages contained the desperate ramblings of Eliza Whitmore. Eliza was a young woman who had lived in the manor over a century ago. The journal spoke of a love betrayed, a town cursed, and a spirit seeking revenge.
Eliza had been in love with a man named Samuel, but their love was forbidden by their families. In the flickering light of my flashlight, I noticed something I hadn't seen before. It was a loose floorboard. Prying it open, I discovered a small wooden box. Inside, nestled on a bed of faded velvet, was a silver locket. It was engraved with the initials E.W., Eliza Whitmore. Narrator, media, close-up of silver locket with engraved initials E.W. Driven to despair, Eliza had made a pact with a dark entity, sacrificing her own life to curse the town of Willow Creek. Her spirit was bound to the manor, forced to witness the suffering she had wrought. As Sarah read the final pages of the journal, a cold wind swept through the room, extinguishing her lantern and plunging her into darkness.
The air grew heavy. Sarah felt a presence in the room with her. A cold hand gripped her shoulder. Turning, she came face to face with a spectral figure. It was Eliza Whitmore. Eliza's spectral form was as beautiful in death as she had been in life, but her beauty was tainted with a palpable sorrow.
You have found my journal. You now know the truth of my suffering, of the curse that binds me to this place.
Her eyes, once filled with love and laughter, now burned with a cold fire. They reflected the pain and anger that had consumed her in life and followed her in death.
I will help you. I will break this curse and set you free.
Sarah knew she couldn't leave Eliza's spirit trapped in the manor. The curse had to be broken, not just for the town, but for Eliza's own tormented soul. Guided by Eliza's spirit and the journal, Sarah discovered the location of a ritual site. It was deep within the woods surrounding Willow Creek. It was a place of power where Eliza had made her pact.
I gathered the necessary elements: a lock of hair from a descendant of Samuel, a white rose untouched by sunlight, and a silver coin from the year Eliza died.
As the clock struck midnight on Halloween, Sarah began the ritual. The air crackled with energy, the wind whipping around her as she spoke the words Eliza had entrusted to her. She could feel the presence of the entity Eliza had bargained with all those years ago. It was a dark and malevolent force that seemed to seep from the very trees themselves.
The locket pulsed with a cold light.
As Sarah placed the locket on the ground, she felt a surge of energy. It was as if the very fabric of the veil between the worlds was thinning. Eliza's spirit shimmered, growing brighter as the curse began to unravel. The entity roared in anger, its shadowy form attempting to reach out and stop Sarah. But Sarah continued the ritual, her voice growing stronger with each passing moment.
Your hold over Eliza ends now. You will not trap another soul in this town. The curse is broken.
With a final surge of energy, the locket shattered. The entity shrieked in rage before being sucked back into the earth, leaving behind only the lingering scent of sulfur. Eliza's spirit, now free from the curse, turned towards Sarah. Her eyes, no longer filled with anger and sorrow, held a glimmer of peace.
Thank you. You have set me free.
As dawn broke over Willow Creek, the town felt different. The oppressive weight that had hung over the town for so long had lifted. The air felt lighter, cleaner. The townsfolk emerged from their homes, blinking in the sunlight. They looked at each other in wonder.
The curse was broken.
The news of Eliza's liberation spread through Willow Creek like wildfire. Sarah Mitchell, the journalist who had dared to confront the darkness, became a local hero. The town, once shrouded in fear, embraced its newfound freedom.
The Willow Creek Manor, once a symbol of tragedy and despair, was restored to its former glory. It now served as a museum dedicated to the town's history and the memory of Eliza Whitmore.
Though the curse was broken, the stories of Willow Creek continued. Sarah Mitchell's account of her experience became a bestseller. It cemented the town's reputation as a place where the veil between the worlds was thin. But now, instead of fear, there was a sense of wonder. Willow Creek was a reminder that some mysteries are meant to be solved. Others are destined to remain, whispering on the wind, waiting for the right soul to hear their call. The town had faced its darkness and emerged stronger, its spirit as resilient as the ancient oaks that lined its streets. Willow Creek was a testament to the enduring power of hope. Even in the face of the unknown, it was a beacon, reminding all who dared to visit that even in the darkest of shadows, the light could find a way through.